Jean-Claude Van Damme. You think you know him? The man who could kick harder than a horse, split his legs across two chairs like it was nothing, and make entire theaters go silent with just one stare. But what if I told you the real fights of Jean-Claude Van Damme were never on screen? What if the muscles from Brussels, the unstoppable action hero, was battling demons that no camera ever captured? Stay with me, because this is the story of a legend who rose from nothing, conquered the world, lost almost everything, and still found a way to rise again. Back in Belgium, long before the fame and flashing lights, there was just a skinny kid with thick glasses. His name was Jean-Claude Camille Francois van Varenberg, and classmates loved to mock him. They called him weak, puny, a four eyes. Imagine standing in front of a mirror at 11 years old, staring at your reflection and swearing you'll rewrite your own destiny. That's exactly what he did. His father enrolled him in karate. Day after day, year after year, Jean-Claude pushed through bruises and exhaustion until discipline wrapped around him like a second skin. By 18, he had a black belt in Shotokan karate. But here's the twist: he didn't stop there. He chose ballet. Yeah, ballet. 5 years at the bar built balance, flexibility, and endurance most fighters couldn't dream of. If you can survive ballet, he once said, you can survive anything. And survive, he did. He lifted weights, sculpted his body, won Mr. Belgium in 1978. But trophies weren't what he was chasing. Deep down, he was still that boy whispering 3 wishes in a church pew: to save the world, to protect nature, and to become a movie star. In 1982, with $3,000 in his pocket and a dream too heavy to ignore, he flew to America. Nights sleeping in a beat-up car. Days pounding pavement, audition after audition, over 100 times hearing no. He stole food just to stay alive. And yet, every morning he stretched, he kicked, he trained, believing almost insanely that the dream was already his. Finally, in 1986, he landed a villain role in No Retreat, No Surrender. It wasn't glamorous, but it was proof. And then came 1988, Bloodsport. That movie didn't just change his life, it exploded. From the kid mocked in Belgium to the man fighting in underground tournaments on screen suddenly, the world was watching Jean-Claude Van Damme. The hits kept coming: Kickboxer, Lionheart, Double Impact, Universal Soldier. And then, Time Cop cemented him as a global icon. He wasn't just another action star, he was the action star. His splits, his flying kicks, his fiery eyes, every kid in the 90 seconds tried to imitate him. Video games even modeled characters after him. The muscles from Brussels had arrived. But here's the cruel truth: fame doesn't just give, it takes. The man who once trained with laser focus now found himself drowning in endless schedules, missed family dinners, and the crushing weight of expectation. 5 marriages, betrayals, scandals, each one tearing deeper wounds. He admitted later, "I was working too much, flying from set to set, exhausted. I couldn't see my family." The cheers of millions couldn't fill the silence at his dinner table. By the mid-90 seconds, whispers of drugs became headlines. Reports claimed he was consuming up to 10 grams a day. His body, once carved like steel, was breaking down. On the set of Street Fighter, he'd vanish for days. And in his darkest moments, alone in hotel rooms, he thought about giving up altogether. The man who split trucks with his legs was nearly split apart inside. Doctors finally diagnosed him with bipolar disorder. The manic highs, the crushing lows. It explained the chaos that had ruled his life. But diagnosis was just the start. Recovery was brutal. Relapses, therapy, medication, endless training just to hold himself together. Yet, little by little, he clawed back. "Without discipline," he confessed, "I would not have survived." And then came a moment no fan expected. In 2008, in the film JCVD, He broke character completely. 6 minutes of raw confession, tears streaming, no stunts, no kicks, just honesty. Time magazine called it Oscar-worthy. Fans called it unforgettable. For once, he wasn't the muscles from Brussels. He was just Jean-Claude, a broken man begging to be understood. That moment was resurrection. It led to new films, new respect, even statues in his honor. And of course, who could forget the viral Volvo commercial? Him, at 53, balancing in a perfect split between two moving trucks. Proof that legends may age, but they never fade. But the real comeback wasn't in Hollywood. It was at home. After years of betrayal and heartbreak, he reunited with Gladys Portugues, the woman who gave him 2 children, and, ultimately, forgiveness. Their love wasn't a fairy tale, it was a battle. But it was real. And today, she's still by his side, the anchor that pulled him out of the abyss. Now, at 63, Jean-Claude Van Damme lives quieter, training daily, eating clean, meditating, walking his dogs. His net worth sits around $40 million. He owns homes in Los Angeles, Brussels, and Hong Kong. But the real wealth isn't the villas or the cars. It's the peace, the chance to sit at a table with family, to laugh, to breathe. Look at his face today. Yes, it's older, lined with years. But every crease tells a story, not of defeat, but survival. He's proof that no matter how high you rise, no matter how far you fall, redemption is possible. That strength isn't about never breaking, it's about rising after you do. So, the next time you think of Jean-Claude Van Damme, don't just remember the splits, the kicks, the glory days of the 90 seconds. Remember the boy with glasses who refused to give up. The man who nearly lost everything but fought his way back. The legend who taught us that the greatest battles aren't won on screen, but in the silence of the stand, human heart. And if his story lit a fire in you, if you still believe in fighters who never quit, drop a like, leave a comment, and subscribe for more untold stories of legends who refuse to surrender. Because at the end of the day, Jean-Claude Van Damme isn't just an action hero. He's living proof that even when the world counts you out, you can still rise again.